Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we're getting back on the RT2MX out of the flat tracker, and we're going to try to get the top end built up. But before I go there, I need to replace the sheathing on the magneto wires coming out. It's all hard and brittle, and it's been cut once, so we're just going to go ahead and do that real quick. And you know, we had it in here, I don't know, it's probably been a couple of years back. It had spark then, so there's no reason why it shouldn't have spark now. So we'll just we'll go ahead and replace the sheathing, and then we'll go for the timing and all that stuff, of course, before we put the head on. But we just need to get this done so I can have it on its side and not have to worry about the cylinder falling off or something. So let's get over here and get to it. Okay, we'll go ahead and check our flatness on this one. Yeah, it's not going to take too long, I don't think. I think we're good there. I don't know what that is, but it shouldn't matter over here. Our gasket's going to fit right in here. So I think we're good. Better than it was. All right, take it over and give it a new coat of paint. Okay, I've got soap and water in here, and threw in 20 sheetrock screws, drywall screws. That's what Caswell recommends for fiberglass tanks before you seal them. I've already done this twice. We'll take a look at it after we get done with this one. But you just shake it up good and just keep after it. The drywall screws are supposed to roughen it up inside so that I've got to make a new gasket here for my gas cap. But it's supposed to roughen it up so that the epoxy will stick better. And I just kind of lay this on here so I can count all the screws coming out. This is the final rinse. And of course this one is pre-mix. I'm going to put a nice little new copper washer on there and a little blue Loctite. Get it started. All right, we'll just get the screws out here. I got them popped loose already. Replacing that sheathing isn't too bad a job, so I just as well do it. Wished I had done it when I was using it. Okay, first thing we got to do is get first, before I do that, let me make myself a little map here. Okay, red is female. I mean male. And brown is female. And they both go in the double connector. And then we've got two females on the singles. So just so you don't get them fouled up, you can reach in here and pull your connector up. In this case, we should be able to reuse this rubber piece. It looks okay still. It's going to shorten it a little bit. Should be okay. You just got to remove these, clip them as close as you can, and then you can pull the rubber off. And same with these here. See, the sheathing just comes up to here, so as long as everything else is okay there, you should be able to just replace it. Get our ground there. And pull that off. See, we've got tape up here. And then we need to remove this. And I found that if this stuff is pretty hard, if you just score the top, you don't have to cut through. Just score the top all the way down, and you should be able to peel it off. Okay, I've got it scored all the way. See, you can hear it crunchy. Usually you can just pull it off after you've done that. Well, I run into a little spot there, looks like, that didn't go. See if we can get it going. Now it broke off. Maybe from the other end. There we go. Okay. Just want to make sure that black one stays up there so we can hook it up. Okay, I've just kind of cleaned these wires with just some soap and water. Now I'm going to take a little Glide. You could use many things. You could use soap and water. This is what they use to mount tires. It makes things pretty slick and then dries up. So I'm just going to kind of do a final wipe with that. And then I've got my new sheathing here. I think this will do it. So I'll cut this to the proper length, and then I'll squirt a little of the Glide down it and try to get them through there. Okay, I've got this kind of started here. And what I find is if you've got a little soap and water or something in the new sleeving, and you keep a little bit. This stuff kind of dries out quickly, so you need to keep applying it. You can just start pushing this in just a little at a time, and you just kind of work this as you go in, and that keeps it so it will still take it. If you don't, it'll bind up and you won't go anywhere. So you just need to kind of take your time and keep that going. Okay, so I got the sleeving up, got her clamp back on, our ground connected. Oh, sorry. And that's fastened there. Nice and flexible. And we'll just start stripping our ends here and getting our new terminals on. Okay, don't forget to put your grommet up. That one's not in great shape, but I don't know where you're going to get one, so we'll put a little RTV around it. That's what it'll need. So you get our brown and our red. The red is the male. So it's going to go up there. And the brown's the female. So it goes in there. So we'll go ahead and get these connected up. Get our two done for this one. I just like to, for security, I like to solder them too. So just finish them up by pulling up your covers. You may have to kind of help these in a little bit, but they'll go in. Okay. All right. So there's our replacement on our harness. You need to turn your gasket red in order to get it to anneal. It doesn't all have to be red at the same time though. So these are kind of hard to come by these days, so about all you can do is anneal them and reuse them. And you can do this with any copper gasket. And just dump it. Yeah, a lot more malleable. Okay, so we got to get this off and get our seal replaced while we're in there. Okay, this is a kind of a strange size. I never could find one when I was looking for it, so I made one. This is probably the best time we've got to clean all the debris out here. That's had looks like caulking or silicone or something on it too, so of course it's 50 years old. Okay. Okay, I'm going to set this up on its side so I don't end up with a lot of stuff just falling in there. Drill a little smaller hole. Let's see what that does. Boy, that booger is in there. I wonder if they put it in with some kind of Loctite or something. So I guess we're going to have to take it out a different way. See if that'll allow me. There. It just kept pulling out. What I did was just kind of take a punch and push this away so it wasn't having to pull so hard. Alright, let me get that cleaned up and there's a new seal in it. I'm going to put a little bit of assembly lube in that bearing. And just a little bit of Yamaha lube. On the seal surface. And this one looks good too. And also a little bit in the seal itself. Just a little bit of black RTV, very sparingly. Of course you don't want to push it back there into your bearing, so just a little bit. Okay, looks good. Okay, so that feels good there. So I think I'll go ahead and get our stator back in, and then we'll get the top end on, and then we'll time it. So much more flexible. I just hate those when they when they get all hard and crusty. There we go. Okay, should do her. Looks good. I think we deserve some new hardware for the stator there. They've been pecked around on quite a bit, looks like. All right, looks good. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of assembly lube down here in the rod. On the other side too. Feels good. And a little Yamaha lube down both bearings there. Okay. So we've got, I'm going to go ahead and get some grease on the surface here and get my gasket on. Just get it on both sides of our new gasket. This one had been on there for a long time, probably 50 years almost, and it came right off because I had greased it. It didn't even tear if I remember right. Here's the one that came off, and it's all still there. That works. All right, let's get our piston over here. We get a little assembly lube up in here. Got everything cleaned up here. And just get a little Yamaha lube up in the pin bosses. And a little on the pin. I've already got the keeper in on one side, on the camera side. your side. Well, I can't see. I gotta feel it here. Yeah, otherwise I gotta move the camera. It's in. Let me get my hands cleaned up. I'll get that other keeper in. Okay, we got our stuff all stuffed back down in there. There. All snapped in. Just go over here and verify the other side is. And it is. I'm just going to get a little Yamaha lube on my ring. Got it oriented properly, and our pins right here. And there we go. It fits in there real nice. Goes down all the way into the ringland. All right. Get all this out. And let me get my cylinder prepped. We've got everything lubricated, get our ring set in the right place there, I hope. And we're gonna get this down so we can get some alignment here out of these studs. The ring kept popping out on me over here. See the little plastic tool to get in there and push that ring down. All right. I think we're good. Get something to turn that rotor with. Oh yeah. Nice. Oh, I doubt if you can see in there. Okay. Okay, I've just got these bolts to kind of hold the cylinder down, and I've got my dial indicator set up here, and I've got it at top dead center right there. Let me grab you down here and I'll show you what we're looking for. Okay, this one's pretty easy to set up. We've got a mark here on the rotor and a mark here on the pulsar, and we're going to go down to 2 millimeters before top dead center. I'm going to do that right here. We've got an arrow right here to take us up to top dead center. That's the rotation, direction of rotation. And now we're going to go back the other way to our 2 millimeter. There's one. And there's two. And we're off just a little bit. All we've got to do is just turn this, or you can adjust it here. Either way, we were able to catch it just by turning it, rotating it on the stator. And since we didn't move it, that should be just right where it was when I took it apart. Okay. So you can see right there that this is still down at the 2 millimeters or thereabouts. So that's how far away from top dead center this is actually going to fire. So it's not very far down. Okay, I'll go ahead and get this stuff off and we'll get to putting the head on. Let's just give this a final wipe here. Yeah, just going to put a little oil in these studs. Okay, we'll start our torque now. I'm just going to start this at 50 inch-pounds. We're just going to go up incrementally. I'll take it up to 100 on this next one. And we'll just continue up until we get to between 300 and 360 inch-pounds. Finishing out at 325 inch-pounds. I think that's good enough. And we've got our washers and nuts here for the head. And then we'll incrementally tighten these to 180 inch-pounds, starting at 50. And my next one will be 100. And we finish up at 180 inch-pounds. We've got a new plug here. Put that in there. And our compression release. I'll have to pull this back out to get the cable hooked up in it, but for the time being we've got something plugging the hole. Okay, I've got my gasket on with my grease on it for the reed cage. Get that setting in there. Got a brand new in the box carburetor union there. Oh, I think I want to get some flat washers on those. Let me grab flat washers. Okay, yeah, those flat washers keep from tearing the rubber up. Those lock washers would kind of do that, so. Remember, this was the old one, and they had a gasket on there, and it's not supposed to have a gasket on that. It seals right here with this raised rib. So no gasket on this one, just on the rib, the reed cage. And we'll finish those off at 90 inch-pounds. We'll go ahead and get our clutch actuator on. We're getting a lot of wind right now. Looks like we've got a cold front coming in, maybe some rain. It's not as windy now as it was about 5 minutes ago. I hate it when it gets like that, but you know, you usually end up with some limbs down, or sometimes it brings hail in. We don't like that. Look at my floor. Blew all these leaves in here. Trash. Okay. I think that's about as far as we can go today. Looking pretty spiffy, I must say so myself. So we've got a brand new bore, and we've got a Kickstarter. I'm hoping that that's going to clear that Champion frame, but we'll find out. Okay guys, there you have it. Got our 360MX flat tracker engine rebuilt. It needed a rebore. It was in pretty sad shape. Should be good now. We've got a new boot on the back here for the carburetor. I've had a lot of this stuff for eons, and I just, at one point I was going to make sure that everything was up to snuff and go ahead and offer it for sale and let somebody else enjoy it the way I did, back 1972. Little back history on this. This whole motorcycle was sold to me by K&N Yamaha in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That, I believe, was just shortly after they'd split partnership from California, and I think, I'm not real sure of how it worked, but I think that part of them stayed in California, and the other batch went out here, or went out to Oklahoma, and that's where I lived when I was growing up. So that's where it came from. Still have the original bill of sale for it, and it was a really fast machine in the day, and that Champion frame just handles like a dream, and it's so much lighter than a stock RT or DT frame. But anyhow, I think probably we're getting close to putting it back in the frame, and this has just got another thing off my bench. I've got the 125 Yamaha here that is pretty much back together. Got just a little bit left to do on it, and this thing here is ready to go back in the frame, so it'll be off the bench. And I think at that point we'll probably start back up on the HS1 Yamaha 90 Twin, and we'll see how that thing goes. I believe I've got everything I need now. It's going to be a real trick boring those little cylinders, but somehow or another we'll get her done. Hey, if you would, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. Just hit that thing and hit a thumbs up if you would, please. I know there's always a guy out there who hits down. Go ahead, do it, it's okay. And hit that notification bell if you so desire to get notified when they come up. I'm not big on the notification thing. I watch for them and pick them up then, but I know a lot of people like that, for that to show up immediately and let them know. I watch YouTube almost exclusively, and all the new ones come up on my feed, so I know they're there, and I'm not going to stop work out here or whatever I'm doing during the day to go watch one. Anyhow, I just as soon as I retire for the night, I usually go in and watch for a couple hours, and that gets me caught up on most of them. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.